For Wall Street Media, I'm German Mike. I'm here with Doug, and we'll help you make money in the stock market with information you can't find anywhere else.
What do we have? We got Gabelli stuff from Vegas.
We have Gabelli,
right?
and for anyone that's interested, the whole presentations, you can listen to all of them at wsw.com/webcast/Gabelli24.
Did I mention that you look like $1 million today?
I do.
Right?
I'm just coming from a conference.
Well, the Harvard Club.
The Harvard Club. It's Redship.
Yeah.
Yes, pretty interesting.
Small caps all day, right?
Yes, it's small caps.
Why don't we let the cat out of the bag and tell where you can see that?
I think it's...
I know. wsw.com/webcast/redchip2.
See, that's what I thought.
Yeah. Full of baloney. German baloney coming at you here, gang.
All right. The first company is Charles Glassheimer, CEO of NO1, ticker HEV, discusses the advantages of the lithium ion battery, including 50% reduction in size compared to the old technology, 50% reduction in weight as well, 2 times the power and 2 times the density. He also talks about the advantage of the NR cell design. It is safer, higher power, and the prismatic design gives a thermal superiority and packaging advantages.
Now, you know what I saw this morning, German? Just crossed the wire a little bit ago, was Panasonic are buying Sanyo. Do you know Sanyo? They make televisions, that kind of thing.
All kinds of applications.
But now this is what I didn't know. They have 30% of the $6 billion a year lithium ion battery market.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and with that big percentage, and then Panasonic's got a lot more cash behind it, right, and cash flow.
It's a nice combination.
Right, and they think they're going to move right on up into the auto lithium ion battery.
Yeah, nice.
You know,
well,
I can't wait till I can get an electric car. I have to tell you, it's a constant source of disappointment for me that you haven't built one for me.
Well,
yet.
an electric car right now has a problem that it cannot go as far due to the storage.
Well, then
problem.
You better get up and get to work, man.
There are a lot of
batteries.
people working on that, also on the biofilm batteries and so on. So there's a lot of technology out there that people are working on right now. It's not there yet, I think. You know,
you can do this, right?
No.
We'll be back by lunch. German Mike will have invented a lithium-ion battery
Yeah,
that'll
sure.
do. Come on, I
All
say
right.
yes.
Next up, we have Brad Richardson, EVP and CFO of Modine Manufacturing, ticker MOD, discusses the environmental growth opportunities, such as emission reduction that increased content through highly engineered solutions, such as oil coolers, fuel coolers, and pre-coolers.
Now, pretty cool. You know what, guys?
Good.
Go to the hobby page that Mike told you to go to. There's a pretty good Q&A question session for Modine.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, where they've got some pretty detailed questions about what he's going to do with CapEx and cutting costs and that kind of thing. Yeah,
a lot of times the Q&A is the most interesting part, because if you're investing in the company, you're on the money already, what is going on, what the presentation is about. Right. And so during the Q&A you figure out what other people are interested in as well. So that's usually very good. Right.
Where to look. What's the weak spot or what's the strong spot? Yeah, it's a pretty good one. You guys, I know it's not as great as watching me and Mike, but go and listen to the Q&A.
Nothing is as good as watching us.
What was I thinking?
Okay, Alan Feldman, CEO of Midas, MDS, discusses a strategic plan to accelerate Midas franchisee transitions, to drive Midas same-store sales, to grow Midas shop base, and to pursue complementary acquisitions and effectively deploy capital.
Yeah, these guys, they make quite a bit of money. These fellows, I didn't realize there were so many of them. I used to go to one in Pennsylvania when I lived in Pennsylvania.
I always see the commercial.
Yeah.
It's a Midas touch.
Yeah, they're quite well known. Now, it was interesting because at Gabelli, they were followed by Monroe, which I think you have a highlight for coming up. And they have very different ideas, and pointedly different, right? I think they probably draw lots about who gets to go after the other guy. So you can kind of make like little digs and refers, to like, well, we think franchising is a better business. Or, the one says you can't do greenfield, open up greenfields, and the other says the second they slap their sign up, because everyone knows it's the Midas touch, right, from the commercials, they had customers pulling in 30 minutes later.
Right, and they do a lot of work. I mean, even besides the usual break and so on, you go in and you have your complete car checkup, I would assume.
Well, that's what they were talking about. One of them, I forget which one, if it was Monroe or Midas, one of them, I think it was Monroe, bought an oil change company, Speedy, and it's amazing. Like Speedy did $5,000 in revenue for every whatever $50,000. You can see this on the slides. Revenue in oil changes, right? Like they did like a tiny bit in these other areas, and then they moved them together and they made them into one store.
And all
right?
of a sudden they have big chunks in each.
Yeah, and so they really did like this beautiful complementary acquisition, and revenues.
Well, I can see that. I mean,
up.
if something's wrong with my car, I just want to have it fixed. I don't care what it is. You know, I just want to have it done.
Right. And
so I just go to
if I'm pulling in for oil and I also need brakes and tires,
I just get it
nice
done
to
now.
go to one.
Right.
Right. Instead, you know,
and not have the car sitting there for days and then at another place for days, and just have it done at once.
Yep.
Yeah, I can see that. Let's see what Monroe Muffler says. Robert Gross, CEO of Monroe Muffler Brake, ticker MNRO, discusses opportunities and acquisitions for building tire store category, including 9 acquisitions in the last 6 years.
Yeah, pretty interesting, right? And both pretty good businesses. You know, they're getting hit a little bit. Now, it was also interesting, like for the oil change category, the age of cars, right? And that helped the acquisition as well. Is a lot of times the muffler part of the business, they were seeing older cars, right? Like they were seeing on average 9 or 10-year-old cars, and oil change were seeing on average 4-year and newer cars.
Right.
So they were seeing a different constituency as well. So you're getting a chance, you know, to get a shot to sell them things, you know, that you didn't see when you were just seeing the people with the 10-year-old cars.
Do you think as time progresses, like people will use less mufflers because I mean their car is so good, the muffler system is so good that you don't need replacement there?
No.
Or do you think that's like
do you know what? I think that's
thing?
coming like at the same time as like the Jetsons and the flying cars.
Okay, well that's all we have for now.
Yeah, that's it for the day, guys. We'll be back later, and we'll have some small cap highlights for you from the Red Chip conference. You can watch that live today, and we'll also have a little bit more Gabelli information.
Okay.
Thanks,
great.
Mike.
We're here every day at Wall Street Media. You can find us directly at wsmco.com. Thanks.